So, authenticity is the name of the game. But how do you be authentic if you don't know yourself? You think you may know yourself, but sometimes we think that knowing ourselves is what color we like, the do's and don'ts about being around us, or the things that we enjoy doing. And not saying that those things are not a part of knowing who you are, but there's a deeper level to it. You're a multidimensional being. And what does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, of course, we know I have many layers. I play different characters. I play many roles in my life. But energetically, what does that mean? And how does getting to know that side of you help with your authenticity? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Jay Renee, the girl who talks to herself so that she can talk to you. So the first thing I spoke about was the multidimensional space of you. Now, we all know that we play, like I said, many roles in our lives. There's dimensions, there's layers to us. We're mothers, we're friends, we're sisters, we're friends. I said friends. We're wives, we're daughters, co-workers, members of community, like all of these different roles. But there's more to us than what we decide to title ourselves. The multidimensional, or the many layers of you that I'm talking about, is the subtle energies that are you. And I'm only going to speak about a few of them because it is a vast subject. And if you want to know more about that, then you have to deep dive into that yourself. But I just want to touch on some of those things. So you have the two things that I really want to touch on is your your mental body and your emotional body. These two, I feel, are the most easiest to understand. I mean, now there's more. There's your auroric field, you are an electromagnetic being. So there's many different things, many different fields that you have that encompass this etheric body that's around you. And that's just your energetic body, your light body. So, like I said, I just want to talk about the mental and emotional body. So the mental body is your thoughts, and your thoughts that are circling your field, like just that are in your. All right, so there's a very interesting thing about us humans. We're not only humans, as I say this in all of my videos, and all of my videos are basically a continuation from the last one. So the last one, I was just talking about the dysfunction of your feminine and masculine energies, but this one is about deep diving into the many layers of who we are, multi-dimensional beings, meaning we exist in different spaces all at the same time. So how do you do that? How do you carry around, how are we walking around existing in many spaces at many different times? I think one of those ways is I could be sitting here, but someone could be having thoughts about me right now or feelings about me right now. And that version of myself is existing within them at this current moment. So it's kind of like that, but it's deeper than that. So anyway, so I want to get into two bodies, so two biofields that are a part of your field, your entire your biofield. And they have many different layers, it's many different parts and things like that. But the two that I want to focus on today when talking about getting to know yourself and knowing yourself and being authentic, and some of the things that I think that are very important into how are you supposed to navigate being authentic and getting to know yourself. There has to be a level of introspection and a level of self-awareness. So two of the things are your mental body and your emotional body. Your mental body processes your thoughts and your feelings, and your emotional body that's where those things live. Your feelings live in your field. Now, if you don't know, you do have a biofield. This is a layer of subtle energies that are emanating from your body. Some say that they are within and then they permeate out, and some say that they started on the outside and then they created this physical body. So your mental body processes your thoughts and your feelings. So if you're not aware of the many thoughts that you have and the feelings that are connected to them. So thoughts are electric pulses that create feelings, and the feelings, which are magnetic, create your electromagnetic broadcast, and that's basically the emanation of your field. So it's kind of like a radio station. So it's what's broadcasting from your particular station. So anyway, so if you don't know that these things are definitely a part of how you see yourself, how you understand yourself, and how you project yourself, it's hard to be authentic. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to know if you're actually being your authentic self, if you're actually being yourself. And sometimes we're affected, not sometimes, we're actually affected by the collective, and that's everybody and everything. It's our environment, our growing up, our parents, our family, school, television, social media, the internet, and all that kind of stuff like that. Although we still have the power to shift and create our own narrative or our own frequency and vibration, we're still affected by so many things. So you need to know, well, you don't need to, but I think it's best that you do know that there's a field, your mental body and your emotional body, that is creating how you feel about yourself. So when I was talking about the introspection, understanding yourself inwardly helps this broadcast and helps you be able to navigate in life authentically yourself. So if you don't understand that you have a whirlwind of thoughts that are not necessarily yours, you only make them yours because you may believe in them. And then on top of that, like I said, the thoughts, the pulses create a feeling. So that emotion, that energy in motion, the thought is the energy, and then when it starts to move, creates the feeling. And then you magnetize, the feeling is magnetized, and that actually brings to you, this is how you attract certain situations, scenarios, experiences, and realities in this plane. So in order to truly walk in yourself, in order to truly get to know yourself, you have to be self-aware. You have to see what is playing on your thought roadmap, on your thought screen. You know what I mean? So becoming aware of these thoughts that are a part of your field, that is the soup, that is the makings of you, you have to become aware, because your thoughts are created from your belief, and whatever you believe in, that's how you're going to operate in the world. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, but if you believe it, it makes it true for yourself. So if you think that you can't do something and you constantly tell yourself that through your thoughts and then create a feeling, that's the kind of reality that you're going to bring to yourself, what you're going to attract to yourself. This is literally physics. This is literally physics. It is quantum physics, actually. And I feel like a lot of us are moving through life not understanding these things. We constantly tell ourselves, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this is happening. It's because we don't know what we are. We don't know what energy is. We do not know what electrical current it is. Like we don't understand these small details that actually describe to us how we can navigate our experience here on earth. Now, I'm not saying that this means that you can only have quote unquote good experiences. That's not that. It's just knowing how to wield wield, whatever the word is, the power that is within you. And I do think that a lot of us are ignorant to this power. And when you don't understand what or who you are, someone else will tell you what or who you are. And then you believe that. You believe that. It's just like, we'll get into that another time. So anyway, the mental body. If you do not pay attention to the thoughts that are roaming through your head, roaming inside of your life, dictating how you move, it will be a detriment to you. So something I noticed is I have to take time to be still. You just never realize how slowing down or even stopping, which is really not really a thing because everything's always moving and vibrating. But anyway, like stopping and paying attention. I heard this woman say that you need to become the thought police. And what that means is you need to be consciously aware of what thoughts are swishing in and out of the shore of your mind. Slowing down or even stopping, which is really myself particularly thinking, oh, it's never going to happen. And not realizing like how often that pops up in my mind and how I take a few minutes to live in that. And it's like, well, if I take a few minutes to live in it, then I'm making it true. Because like I said, with that thought comes feelings. And that feeling is like sadness. It is scared. It is doubt. It is non-belief in yourself. And that becomes magnetized. That becomes, the vibration of that becomes amplified. And that's what attracts to you. So what happens is after that, you have the thought. You don't even think about it. Somehow you move your way out of it. And then what you said you was going to do to somehow bring something to you, like let's just say you want to be a baker, I don't know, and you want a bakery. And in the moment of thinking about your bakery and things like that, and then you allow the thoughts to come in to say that it will never happen, and then you live inside of that, which meaning you're powering that thought. Now, every thought does not have fire on it, meaning the energy for it to be what it really is. Not all your thoughts are your thoughts. So you take the time to put more power into it, then it will show up in that in the way of where you lived in it at. So like I said, you had the thought with your bakery. You thought about it. You was like, oh, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But then moments go past and you move on with your day and you move on with your life. And then there's things, micro things that happen that kind of push that away from coming into you because you've changed the frequency of it from, oh, I want it to, it's never going to happen. So when that thing is trying to get to you, you're creating blocks. You living in that energy and creating that is creating blockages. And those blockages are, I'm not going to look for a building today. I am not going to perfect this recipe. I am not going to call a realtor. I'm not going to look for the areas that I want my bakery in. I am not going to take the class that I was supposed to take in order to learn how to make croissants. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's how you create the blockages with your things that you want coming in. And this is why it's so important to know about these things, because we don't realize how we become our own suppressors, repressors, and oppressors, because we don't understand the inner workings of ourselves. And that's a problem. Like, we're moving into a new stage, honey. We're moving into a new era. We are new. We are the new humans. These kids, they are the new humans. We are the new ones. And we need to know more about ourselves than just remembering the old ways when everybody told you. You know, school was set up to indoctrinate us to believe things that weren't true. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that these two bodies, and this is basic. This is basic. And I want to do, just basic things, or talk about this basic information. And then we'll get into the deeper part of it, etheric, or aura fields, and all of that kind of stuff later. But this is basic. This is stuff that you can readily understand and use practical things into your daily, do practical things in your daily life that can help you understand who you are and get to know who you are. And it's more than, like I said, your favorite color. I mean, don't get me wrong. That actually is included to a lot of things about you, because mine is purple and green. And what I understand about purple and green, I see why. You understanding that your mental body, and know that when speaking about all of these things, you're saying body, you're saying body, so body, you're saying body. Think of it like this. Think of it as a body of water. Like, you're the island and you're surrounded by bodies of water. The water, the oceans, and all of, they have many different layers. They always talking about sea level and deepen. Like, they have many different layers. That's the same as you. You're the same as Earth. You're just a smaller version of it. And y'all are together and interconnected, because you drink from that water, you live on that land. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So think of it like that. Even though you have a mental body, there's only specific things that are yours and not yours. So just imagine being on an island and something goes up on shore. You were out swimming and your shoes fell off, and then somehow they roll up on shore. Those are your shoes. If you see another pair of shoes that roll up, you don't recognize them, those are not your shoes. You see what I'm saying here? All thoughts are not your thoughts. All shoes are not your shoes. Okay? So you get to determine what shoes are yours. Ones that fully resonate with what you desire, what you really want. You want the bakery. You don't not want the bakery. So you don't take those shoes. You create thoughts that are in line with who you desire to be, or that are that resonate with the experiences that you want to experience. So, getting to know you is getting to know your thoughts. Be the thought police. Where am I right now? Thought wise. What's coming up right now? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, check in with yourself. Pay attention to what thoughts come up in different environments. Pay attention to what thoughts come up when you declare that you're going to do something, and see immediately. Like, you know what? I am going to be a singer. I'd like to sing at Madison Square Garden. What comes up right as you declare something like that? What are the thoughts? Are the thoughts serving you, or the thoughts not conducive? I think so. Conducive to allowing that experience to come into fruition? Or are the thoughts damaging to the thought that you just had, or the declaration that you just made? You know what I mean? So in order to get to know yourself, you have to get to know your thoughts. You have to get to know your thoughts, because your thoughts are directly connected to what you believe in. And what you believe orders your steps. And it is a chemical situation. This is deep down within your cells. And I think one of the things is we have to be more conscious of these things, because on top of what we're experiencing in our personal lifetime right now, we're also experiencing different things within ourselves. In ourselves, I'm talking about from generations of generations of generations of generations. So there are a lot of things that are arising in us that, once again, are not from this specific lifetime. It is from your lineage. It is from your DNA. It is from your time here. And I'm not even going, I believe it's from beyond here, from not inside of this plane of reality or existence. You know what I mean? So get into that mental body. Get into the thoughts and how they're processing through your waters. Okay? Let's move on. Okay. So the emotional body. The emotional body is the connection between the physical and the mental body. It represents our feelings and our relationships to all things, everything, every single thing. Because like I said, your thoughts have a pulse, and that pulse creates a feeling. So anything that you think of, energy, emotion, flows through you to your physical body. And this is why we can feel. Now the emotional body is connected to your nervous system. And as you know, your nervous system is your hormones and, things like that. So the emotional body, your emotional body influences the way you feel, the way you think, do what you do, and what you say. Everything you encounter triggers your emotions and then influences your health, your relationships, and perspective, and definitely perception of the world. And one of the things, well, not one of the things, but in order to get to know yourself, emotional intelligence is premier. It is priority. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be like priority. And walking through life not being emotionally intelligent can be a chaotic storm at times. And a lot of us were not, our emotions weren't regulated as children. Some of us grew up in households where we were raised, reared, taken care of by people who, adults, or sometimes I'm a teenage mom, a child who had no knowledge of the understanding of emotions. And that is a real thing. That is a real thing. It is said that you're not an adult until you're like in your 40s, for real. So this fake idea of being an adult at 18 makes no sense. And then to try to rush women to have babies before 30 something, you're not really in a space to rear the next generation, because you have yet to experience a lot of things on your own. You know what I mean? So your emotions are spearheaded by the thoughts that you have. And sometimes, they say that the thoughts happen first and then the emotions. But sometimes I don't think that is true. I don't think that is always true. But by learning more about your emotions and developing the skills to sense how they emerge and express through your body, you can become more adept at self-regulating your emotions, managing how you express them, and consciously shifting from undesirable emotional states to more desirable ones. So with the thoughts, it's the same situation. It's the same situation. Your emotions create a frequency and a vibration, okay? You can decide whether or not this goes fast or slow. You know what I mean? Or are useful and non-useful. I'm not saying that bad emotions are not a good thing, but when they're tied to your experience, and I told you that emotions are magnetic, they're tied to your experience, you are attracting an experience that you may not necessarily desire. Now, sometimes you can control something like this, and then sometimes you can't. So just imagine a time where you really may not be able to consciously police your thoughts or consciously regulate your emotions is during some time like grief, a disagreement between you and your partner, or just a disagreement period. You know what I mean? Sometimes we can't control during those phases because we're in the moment of them. But your emotional body regulates the emotions of you. So how is your energy moving through your experience? How is your energy moving through your reality? And most of us are not aware of our emotions. We are not aware as to how we intermingle with our environment on a daily basis. I used to talk about this a while ago, moment to moment basis, basically. But I used to talk about this a while ago, how you could be sitting in your house and feel one way when you wake up. And before the day fully gets started, you may have a shift in your emotions and you have no idea where it came from. It's even down to, say you think you're happy and then all of a sudden you start crying, but the crying and this overwhelming sense of sadness comes over you that you have no idea where it came from. We are experiencing and are entangled in one another's energies everywhere. What is that? Oh, that's my hair. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we're experiencing each other, our environment at all times. At all times. And once again, these emotions may not be yours because these types of things travel down. It's intergenerational as well. Like how people say that trauma is intergenerational, which it is. Feelings and emotions are intergenerational. Put it to you like this. Think about going to a historical site and being overcome with emotions as if whatever happened at this historical site, that could be, I don't know, like some people say that they feel this overwhelming sensation of their ancestors when they go visit something that has to, a site that has to do with, like, you know, where they brought slaves in or something like that, or where a war took place, or the way people feel about finding out that their house was built on top of a grave site, like those types of things. This is the transfer of emotions. This is the transfer of emotions, because energy never dies. It never dies. So you can still experience an emotion that was in a specific place, an emotion that has been unlocked within your DNA. You can experience an emotion from a loved one who's passed away. Like it's so deep within you, and it's so deep around you that not knowing about it, once again, can lead you in a chaotic situation. And I'm not saying that anything that I'm saying about the mental body and the emotional body, I'm not saying that you can fully control these things, because that's not really what it's about. What it's about is being aware of them. And when you're aware of things, you're conscious of things, you're not ignorant to them. And you can decide at the moment, like they always say, life is 10% what happened to you and 90% of how you react. This is the part that I'm talking about, that 90% as to how you react to specific things. And knowing that your thoughts about things, and then the emotion that you tie to them make them real or not real, make them true or false. You know what I mean? Make them a belief system or a non-belief system. So you don't want to decide to live authentically, but you don't have authentic love for yourself. You don't have believable goals and dreams for yourself. You don't have the self-talk that can move the world for you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So this is a big part of getting to know yourself. You're human, part human. You're a spirit. There's invisible, subtle energies just swirling within you and swirling outside of you. You're water. You are a conscious and unconscious being, and you want to live authentically. You want to get to know yourself. So here we are. Getting to know yourself, definitely through your mental and emotional body. Basics. Remember I said basics. And your self-awareness and taking time for introspection, which is deciding to look at your inner workings, deciding to understand your thought process, deciding to know why are you talking to yourself like that inside. I'm not talking about when you say stuff out loud, but I mean, shoot, when you say it out loud, it's gone too far. You know what I mean? But how you feel about yourself. And I'm not talking about the world around you. I'm not talking about how other people feel about you. I'm talking about how you feel about yourself. Taking the time to become self-aware of how you feel about yourself. You know, we always want love from other people. We want to trust. We want all these things from other people. But we don't even give those things to ourselves. We will encourage, we will ride or die, we will do all the things. I'm here for my girls. I'm here for my boo. I'm doing this. I'm ride or die. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the cake. Like all the bull. And I'm not saying this, all bad, but I'm just saying, like, the depths of what we will do for others and won't even give ourselves a little bit of that. And I think the reason why is because we don't realize how much we need all that we give. And then when we do want to give to ourselves, we realize we don't have enough to give to ourselves because we've given so much of our energy out to the world. So yeah, being self-aware is a big thing because it is a it's a shifting your consciousness. It is a shift in your paradigm. It is a shift in your belief systems. And like I said, your belief system run your life. They run your life. If you believe you ugly, then you ugly. If you believe you can't, then you can't. And you won't. Because that belief will not even allow your legs to move, to do whatever. You understand what I'm saying? I watched people for years on YouTube. Years, like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be a lecturer. I want to do all that kind of stuff like that. Started multiple channels, didn't do no videos, this and that or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Barely get views. That ain't the point. The point is, I'm supposed to be better than my old self. I'm supposed to be better than a different version of myself. And there was a version that was scared. And there was a version that was like, I can't. But that version don't exist no more. Okay? Because when you do, you're living the dream as though it already is. So I want to be a lecturer, so I'm going to lecture. I want to be a host of a show, I'm going to start my own show. I want to make products, I'm going to make products. There's no reason why I can't do what I want to do. And that is what I'm talking about being authentically yourself. Doing what you want to do as you, is living your truth, is being authentic to you. And to have the mindfulness to who you are and what you are is going to take you somewhere that you would never believe. And remember, your story, your journey does not have to match not a damn soul. Not a damn soul. Your goal is for it to not match anybody else's. Your goal is not to say, well, so-and-so did it this way. It don't matter how they did it. It don't matter. I get it. We want to sometimes take the easy route. But guess what? The easy route sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. Like, I ain't saying, like, you know, if the GPS tell you this can get you there 10 minutes faster, you don't take it. I'm not saying that. But the easy route sometimes detours you from the experiences that you need to experience in order to grow into the authentic self. The you that came here through galaxies and birth and universes through your mother's womb to get here. You didn't come here to be repeat. At least I don't think I did. I don't know about you, but you came here to be you. To be you. So what you waiting for? You came here to be you. As I look into my eyes through this camera, because I'm talking to me too. You came here to be you. There's no reason why you can't. So that's basically what this video is about. And it's basically getting to know yourself and expanding your consciousness. Expanding your consciousness, I think sometimes people think it means educating yourself, which that's a way to expand your consciousness. But expanding your consciousness is to be conscious of yourself. It's your consciousness. Be conscious of yourself. In order to be you, you need to be conscious of yourself. Okay? Because there's a lot of versions of ourselves that have been out here sleep and ignorant. So get into it. So anyway, once again, remember that mental body, remember that emotional body, emotional intelligence. I know that's one of those, like, you know, what's they call the trigger words, not trigger words, whatever the word is, you know, they using it, all this kind of stuff like that. And now I feel like I got to use it just to make some type of explanation. But remember that these are two things that are very important to become self-aware about, because moving forward into the age and the era and this transformation, metamorphosis of the human being, the human species, is about letting the old, ignorant, non-knowing, non-understanding, and not knowing anything about yourself fall to the waistline. You know what I mean? It's time to let her go. It's time to let them go. Because there's no reason in clinging on to something that's not serving you. And being told everything about yourself through the eyes of whatever, no bueno. So anyway, I'm Jackie Renee, the girl who talks to herself so she can talk to you. And I'll see y'all in the next one.